Esposito, io andrei da Matteo Barzaghi per cercare un po' anche di al primo minuto di Gagliardini, ma è quasi tutto pronto. Super spot. Può pagare l'assenza l'Inter?
Ma sicuramente
perché insomma i risultati sono quelli che sono, è rimasto sulla panchina.
Acquistare palla dove l'Inter ci crede parecchio perché va ad aggredire molto alto.
Ho detto ti stai allenando bene, avrai la tua chance e così è stato. Con Radu tutti e due hanno vinto moltissimo, tra l'altro con la primavera,
quindi sono felice per lui.
Ecco la formazione, torna anche, dice quanto è importante anche il gioco sulle fasce, quanto lo è stato per il genere. Proprio con Esposito va all'indietro Biraschi, c'è Radu, quando viene superato il primo pressing poi si ritrae velocemente e accorcia le due linee, anticipato all'indietro Andanovic.
Questi primi minuti fa
booking away from a suspension. Certainly don't get any needless yellow cards. It's
few appearances as a substitute in Serie A and indeed in the Champions League.
Maintain that push for the Serie A title.
You'd expect Genoa to come here rather nervously, a little bit tentative perhaps, but really making the title race all the more exciting as a result. Here's Borja Valero, who scored initially. Esposito grappling away with Biraski, but the ball had gone over. With Bastoni supporting this time. Here's Esposito. First real shot in earnest for the team. They've had some really useful international experience.
Yeah, they have.
Bragi. Lovely floater, Lukaku. And it was Vecino coming round the back post.
Yeah, Vecino did well to make up the ground. I think Lukaku levels it's coming through and they need to be given the chance.
Momentarily, but leaves it for Biragi here to fry with the club.
Oh, there's a ball being played in behind, he's onto it. Playing a little bit closer to each other.
Left for Biragi. That's a great flick. Gagliardini, who's made a real habit of scoring against Genoa in the last year or two. A counter. Forward by Radovanovic. Now Lukaku, who has this Sanabria get into the game so far, but here's Giglioni now. I think with Genoa playing the shape that they're playing, Giglioni here at times is having Giglioni. Agudelo now, Diego Milito.
Budgets dictated in any league, aren't they? That's the way that considerable amount of time, and it is difficult, yes.
And as a coach, of course, having worked with the youth teams in Paris, Biragi's forced the corner. Well, at times, Genoa's, as it is with the Supercoppa, Juventus and Lazio. Lukaku lurking, as always. Here's Candreva. Well, he caught it sweetly enough, but rather straight. Biragi, and four in the centre. For Candreva. It's not time to pick out his man. Is possible
this game for Inter.
Sooner or later, you think one of these will pay off. Esposito game as well here. There he is. Always used to say that about Michael Candreva now. Bypassing Criscito and Candreva. There's a Biragi. Find a way through here to Lukaku. More by Lukaku. Candreva into maintaining the pressure. Lukaku! That's 1-0. And that has been coming. The teenager Esposito roars with delight, but Lukaku notches his 11th league goal of the campaign.
On Genoa's defence when they're in possession.
Teed up here, Gagliardini! 1 minute 40.
His strength, takes his first touch, good movement from, and it is the deflection that deceives Radu. Excellent hold-up play from Lukaku, great awareness to see.
Another goal succession for the team that are... Everybody expecting goal after goal at this rate. You hear all these different stories about who might be coming or going in the January transfer window. There's another card coming out. Inter's artful dodger is on the attack here. In the end, smacking it, Candreva. settle like a duck to water. And again, they don't seem to have the ideas where they know what they're doing. Contrast and compare at the other end where Lukaku more attractive, lacking ideas at the moment. Casata dwelling.
But when you get cut adrift and you're starting to having to chase games, that's where it's extremely difficult, particularly with the quality.
Candreva popping it up for Vecino. Sanabria to keep the pressure on Juventus and return to the top of the table. Must be absolutely delighted with the way that the three players who've come into hurdling, galloping past Criscito and co.
This is what I always imagine Candreva like at his very best.
Lukaku, Candreva now, allowed to run through almost at Pinamonti. Has had nothing to work with so far. That's as good as he's had. A ball behind Stoney. Esposito, this 17-year-old, putting pressure on. Valero taken off him. Esposito, Lukaku. This time the front. Well, a rare foray forward from Criscito, and it's a good. Biraghi, the defender. With the screening after company, Baraski, who was right at the heart of that. And he's won Genoa a free kick now. Bastoni is already on a yellow. He has to be careful.
He does have to be careful. The wrong side. It's probably not a yellow.
Here's Criscito.
Now look a little bit too exposed, too stretched.
Agudelo will make all the difference here.
You see space all over the pitch. That's all you can see with Genoa's.
Looking to thread it.
The Skriniar or Bastoni are pushing in, so they're leaving themselves to.
Again, one of those long raking balls seeking out Lukaku. I guess one of the best compliments we could pay to Inter to yellow. They've given it away once again. In goes Esposito, the touch off Criscito.
Yeah, just
Sanabria. Well, had a brief sight of goal. Well, of course, he's allowed Inter time to get back in the end. To be fair to him, he's forced a decent stop out of Handanovic. Back here with Giglioni. Oh, but Gagliardini is racing through too. They've got support here. Sanabria. Plenty forward in white. Now Biraghi for Inter. As they look to extend this two-goal lead, they'll have a penalty here. Agudelo, yellow card. And a star is born. That young man has a huge future ahead of him. And
absolutely, yeah. Goal scorers don't usually do that, but he recognised.
Or chanting his name like this.
And the thing is as well,
Sanabria! The snapshot. That's better. Oh, Lukaku in the way. Whoops, Handanovic. And as far as Criscito. Nero steps in to take it away from Lukaku.
We've got to do the right things, and Inter have done that in every department.
You know, back to Candreva. Here's Lukaku, wants it on his left. Wants it on his left! Oh, and boy, does he deliver! Happy Christmas, Inter! That's a thumper! Well, he gave up the penalty, but that was all about Lukaku. The strength, the power, the skill, and that's...
Actually, he's off balance, Lukaku, as well. He's actually leaning back. The technique of it.
It's Casata. Skriniar given the foul. Well, it's up. Confirmation of his substitution. I mentioned earlier on he was an Inter loanee.
As you say, certainly for Thiago Motta, and he's on for those young players coming in this type of position or into the system and personnel.
There's a mistake, Lazaro.
Yeah, that's concentration, just coming onto the pitch.